Every time I see these, I get more ideas about what I can do with my portfolio that is currently under construction. Hi, my name is Morgan Chin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here for UX Design Portfolio Review Part 3. If you've been along this journey, you have watched Part 1 and Part 2. If you haven't, stop this video, go back and watch Part 1 and Part 2 so that you can see a lot of what I'm doing. Today we're going to be reviewing a few more portfolios to give them some glows and some grows. So what are some things that they're doing really well, and what are some things that can be improved? There's something that we can learn from all of these portfolios, and there's definitely room for improvement in all of them. You can never stop growing in your portfolio. So let's go ahead and dig in. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the first portfolio. I think this person's name is Manisha. We are on her homepage and I can see she's introducing herself. She has some buttons and a picture of herself as well as some links at the bottom. So one thing that I think is really cool is this graphic that's kind of moving around the page, or this animation. I would say I would prefer for it not to be moving behind the words because it makes it a bit harder to read. Maybe it could move along the outside or kind of just move down the side. So great things about this is that Manisha tells us she's a newly graduated student of an HCI program in RIT. She's a UX designer so that we know what kind of job she's looking for, and she tells us her strengths. So she has a high degree of skills like visual design and aesthetics, a deep understanding of UX design methods and principles, problem solving, critical thinking, as well as communication. Awesome, so we know what type of designer she is. She says that she's looking for full-time opportunities as a UX designer and she can start working immediately. I think this is great because she makes it very clear what kind of job she's looking for and when she's going to start working. She's not looking for an internship. She's not looking to start next year. She wants to start now. Then you have links to her resume, see my work, and hire me. One thing that I think is great is that she includes a link to her resume so that you know where to find it and how to contact her. Please see my work. I would always say never make people do an extra step to see your work, right? They're here at your portfolio to see your work. So they don't need to click yet another button, another link just to see what they already came here to see. So move all of that work onto this page and don't make people navigate deeper in to see that. Then I see hire me. When I click it, it takes me to a form where I can reach out to her and leave a message, which I think is really nice. I can tell she designed this website and that's really cool. Then below you see a picture of her. I think that there's some mixed feelings about including pictures right away in portfolios. I don't really have an opinion on that, to be honest, but I would ask people with more experience than me, okay? Because yeah, some people feel like it's really cool, it's really nice. Some people feel like it can cause you to be biased against before people actually see your work. I'm not really sure what the best thing to do here is. I always keep my pictures on my About Me page. Maybe ask someone who's a little bit more experienced than me. And at the bottom, I love that she has links to all her socials, her Behance, her LinkedIn, her Instagram. That's really awesome, and there's so many ways to reach out to her and say hi, learn more about her and her work. So when you click see my work, we have her work here on this page. As we can see, at the top, it changed to home, resume, work, hire me, and blog. So she has a blog, and that wasn't on the first page. To be honest, you could put that paragraph that you had right above this work and then just have the work right below it. And then right below that can be all of your links. And then below that can be Design with Love by Manisha. I don't even think you really need an intro page for a landing page for people to land on for your website. They don't have time for that. Just drop them right into your work. Looking at her work, I see an Amazon app redesign. Looks like she did UX research and UX design, a RIT parking, UX design, UX researching, UX prototyping. Awesome. And I see 2 more projects. So something that I really like about this is that she tells us what the project is and what her role was, so we can see in all the different projects the different things that she has done. Something that is missing is a description. Did you redesign the whole entire Amazon app? Because the app is huge. So what part of that app did you redesign? That would be important to know. RIT parking, what is that? What does that mean? Did you redesign the whole parking app? Did you make a parking app? Did you just improve a certain feature? Did you work with the parking organization at that school to do this? We're missing some context, so that's something that could be added here. I like that she has her drawings and illustrations. Like I said before, I love when people include personal things. That tells us a little bit more about them. I think that's really, really cool. And at the bottom, again, you can add your social links. So let's click into the first project. Here we have the Amazon app redesign, where she did the UX research and the UX design, and then we have a photo. This image is really, really great, but to be honest, I would love to see a picture of the app redesign. What exactly did you redesign? Not this like stock image with Amazon. That's nice, but like I want to see your work. So I just kind of read through some of the things here. There's an introduction, the challenge section, solution, Amazon, a bird's eye view of the everything store, and then personal goals. Personally, like I've said in other videos, this is a lot of text. To be honest, this is way too much text. I would definitely cut this. Sorry, my husband taking my dog out. I would personally cut this way, 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 way down and just hit the most important things here. And I would see where I could use visuals, because I read through that and it wasn't entirely clear exactly what you're gonna do. I think a lot of times we want to say a lot to get our point across, and the hardest thing to do is use a very few amount of words to say something important. So what is it that you did and why did you do that thing? What was your solution? What did you come up with? Show me, don't tell me. Show me exactly what that solution was. We know what Amazon is. Here we don't need as much of a context to what Amazon is. We need the context to what feature it is that you focused on, which is still not entirely clear. After reading this, it sounds like you just What we really want to know is more information about the feature or the thing that you specifically tried to help or tried to improve. So as I keep going, I see this quote that says that you do not have access to the massive data Amazon has collected over the years. All the decisions their team has made is backed by years of analytics on user behavior, navigation, and purchase trends. I think it's really, really awesome that you included this. So good job with that. I think a lot of times we go in to redesign these huge apps like Amazon, Facebook, Spotify, LinkedIn, we want to like redesign it. And with apps that are that big, with the user base that they have so much research into why they made the decisions that they made and why they put things a certain way. And we don't really have access to that data. So I always err on the side of caution when it comes to redesigning these kinds of apps. It can kind of go either way with people, depending on what you're adding. I think there's always room to add like a new feature or something that maybe doesn't exist there, but to just say, I'm gonna redesign the app, there's a reason why there's hundreds and hundreds of designers that work on these types of apps. So just be careful with that. But awesome that you included this, just knowing that you understand that you don't have all the data and you just did this based on the information that you had. I also like that this next section shows the personal goals that you had for the project. I like that you also told us what roles you played and what you did in the project. I would put the and then also with the goals, here are the most important things that we needed to do. Think about how you knew this was a problem. Where did this come from? Is this something that you found? Is this something you learned through research? That's still not entirely clear, and that's something that we really, really want to clarify. So think about how you can make that super clear to people who are quickly scanning through your portfolio. So another thing to consider as you're working on this is the colors that you're using. You want to think about accessibility, and the green that we have here is not as great with contrast. Against the black, it's a bit hard to read. It could be difficult for some people to read. So I would be careful about that color if you're gonna use this black background. Think about a way that you can make that a bit easier to read. Okay, so as I keep scrolling, I see that you have color palettes and high fidelity prototypes. I'm a little confused about where these prototypes came from. I know you talked a little bit about your research, kind of up a little bit at the top. You identified some pain points, but this prototype doesn't really tell me what pain points you're solving or what problem you're solving. That is really unclear, and I feel like that's a really big red flag, because that is one of the most important things you need in your portfolio, is to be very, very clear about the solution. And I feel like it's very confusing as to what the solution is for and what problem it's solving. So I would really back up and really identify, this is the problem that I was trying to solve based on the research that I did. I found out this is what the users needed. Here's my solution. And before I even get to the solution, I'm gonna tell you how I got this idea. I did some brainstorming. I kind of narrowed it down to these ideas. I asked users what they thought. I tested this and got their feedback. And from there, I was able to narrow in on one idea, and I went from there. So once you do that, then you're showing us this main high fidelity prototype, and you're gonna walk us through each screen. You're gonna tell us, this screen does this. You're gonna call out what you added to it and why you added that to it, and how that solves the user needs that you identified back in the beginning. You're gonna do that for each of these screens. And then you're gonna tell us, did you test this with users? That is huge. So many people will design things and then just put them out there and never test them with users. And that's a part of our job, right? As UX designers, product designers, we design something, we send it into testing, we send it into research, and we get feedback from users, and then we iterate, we make things better. We don't just design it and say, all right, I'm done. That's not really how it goes. So did you test this with users? Put that in there. And if you did, what was the outcome? And if you didn't, why didn't you? Was this a class project that you just didn't have enough time? You know, what was the reason that you did not do that? What were your takeaways? What were your next steps? So for me, I think there's some more things that you can add here, but the most important is that there's a big jump straight to high fidelity prototypes, and I'm not sure about the process that got you there. Okay, on to our next portfolio. So like I mentioned before in another video, I don't want these to be too long. There's so much more I can say for glows and grows, but we don't want this to go on all day. So I'm just gonna hit on certain points. And what I'm trying to do is really talk about things that either I didn't see in other portfolios that I wanna call out so that people know that that's important, or something that's just really huge in your portfolio and I wanna keep saying it so people realize that it's important. So, next portfolio. This person, I think her name is Muno. I hope I said that correctly. She is an interdisciplinary student exploring the role design and engineering plays in the digital transformation of our societies. So I love the color and the typography used. It is beautiful. I think it's so nice that you went with a different color besides white, and the typography is really elegant and classy, and I just like it. Might be a personal preference, but I think that's really cool. One thing I want to know, again, what kind of job are you looking for? And so I've kind of already scrolled through this main page, and that's very important because I'm not exactly sure what type of role are you looking for. So I want to give feedback to this portfolio, but it's a bit difficult for me to do that because I see that you're an engineering student. You're exploring design. You studied electrical engineering with a focus on machine learning and controls. I'm not sure if you want to be a designer or if you want to be an engineer. If you want to be an engineer, that's amazing, but I am not an engineer, so I would not try to give you advice on your engineering portfolio. I'm not sure. So that is a really huge thing. Like, what are you looking for in jobs, and how do you make that clear here? I can learn more about you really quickly just from your main page. I would say though, again, at the top you have a link that makes me go to projects to see them. Do not do that. Right after you tell us your name and a little bit about you at the top here, put your projects there. And then if I'm interested and I see your projects, I like them, I want to learn more, then I'm going to keep scrolling down, and that would be a cool place for you to kind of put this resume flow of like your interests, your background, your relevant skills, because like, oh, I like her work, I want to know more about her. That actually makes a lot of sense, and I think that'd be really cool. So that's something to consider. Now I clicked on your projects page and I see a lot of different kind of work. I see a lot of research work. I see Platonic, I think it is an app, maybe, Connects, which looks like an app. I think the biggest thing I would say here is that it's just, again, not clear what kind of role you're looking for. Because if this is a design role, then you want to move those design apps up to the top. You want to get rid of all that text in the card you've created, and you want to make sure that the photos of the app are big and bold and beautiful. If this is a research position, then maybe you want the research at the top and you really want to go into a lot of details about the research you did and the research method you did and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not really sure, right? And if it's an engineering position you want, I don't really know, what you would need in here. I would ask, someone who's interested in engineering. So that is something to really think about. What is it that you want and how do you make that clear? I am going to stop there with this portfolio just because it is not clear what kind of role that you're looking for. And so it's kind of hard to go in and give feedback to the different projects because they're all different. The different layouts are completely different. I'm just kind of clicking through them now so people can see. If you're wanting a UX designer, UX research role, I think a lot of your process is missing of how you got from one step to the next. So I would just look into the UX process and how I can put that in my portfolio and make it clear that I did follow the process and like the different things that I did. If you are looking for a research role, I would say the same thing. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Coda, no, it's not time to play. Sorry. Otherwise, I'm not entirely sure about this. So if you want to reach out to me and give me a little bit more context, I can send you over a little video and give you some more tips. Every time I see these, I get more ideas about what I can do with my portfolio that is currently under construction for like the 5 millionth time. And then there's things that can be improved. And some of it just comes with like making portfolios, looking at a lot of portfolios and realizing, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that. And sometimes it just takes someone telling you, there's nothing wrong with that. So go ahead and work on those things. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, anything at all, please leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get more tech videos, more portfolio reviews. Hit the notification bell so that you know when those things drop. And follow me on social media. I have Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn because I post a whole bunch more stuff over there. Thank you for watching and I hope you have a great day.